What is your American dream?
My mom came to the United States with a dream, and the dream was really very simple. It was to get herself to a place where she could bring her children up to make sure they had a better life. They thrived in an environment that would recognize their talents and reward their hard work. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she was 64 when she took on the task of raising 3 grandkids after having had 7 children of her own. She took it on to raise her daughter's 3 kids. We're living the dream of those 2 great women. And I would say, yes, we did achieve the American dream.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is Brad Show Live. My name is Brad Bernstein, and we call it Brad Show Live because it's Brad Live, but also with Yo-Yo, Jonathan Elliott. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Well, I like that little getup you got going on.
Well, it was a last-second getup.
I like it. I
was originally coming my general casual self. I'm going to give you an honest story here because I always do.
I get it. It's crazy.
I usually come just, either a shirt or a shirt and sweater. But in my haste this afternoon to get all my work done, I spilled coffee all over my white shirt and did not feel like going home to change. So instead, I did a quick, I looked around my office. I said, what do I got? I got a blazer. I got a scarf. I'm just going to cover it all up. And I put together a new look.
There you go.
Huh? Aha! 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 And by the way, my God, what? What is my God? There's something else. My God versus my... I like it. I like it. Touche. I like it very much. All right. Vanessa's going to join us a little bit. She is stuck in pandemic traffic. I never knew there was such a thing as pandemic traffic. That's what I'm told. Pandemic traffic, but she will be joining us soon. In the meantime, Yo-Yo, let's say hello to the squad. Huh? What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right, Elizabeth Francis, squad up. How are you? Jessica Leamy, Joel Reed, squad up, my loves. Vitalis Asugwu, squad up. How are you? Dion Watson, Casey, Ben, squad up. Violet Blackwood, Dion Reed, Dion Watson, Anisha Young saying hello, and Elizabeth Francis, squad up. Uncle Brad, Yo-Yo, and Vanessa, who is probably listening in the car right now in her pandemic traffic. Dawn Harriet, squad up. I never heard of pandemic traffic, but that's what I was told. Stargirl Mika, big up. Dion, how are you? I just reading as we go along here. Michelle Castell, squad up. Brad, Ma Dukes, what's going on, Ma Dukes? And Sasha Ford, squad up as well. Raquel Graham, Strickland Desai, squad up. Chantel Britt Jam, Latoya Cox, Tia Dion, we see you watching. Chris, what?
Don Harriet, I think almost got a comment of the day. I'm just going to say it as a pre-comment of the day. She's saying, Brad, your face and get up looks like a movie star. And that's exactly what it looks like. What? You look like one of them old school movie stars.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. If I only had the Sean Connery accent, it would be perfect right now, right?
You can work on that.
I can work on it.
You got the look down.
I got the look. I look like one of those, aging, debonair Hollywood actors.
Star, right? You look like a Hollywood actor right now.
Yo, today's thing is. Who else we got here? Bev Mona Johnson, squad up. How are you? Elizabeth Francis. I got to remember now to wear the scarf and the handkerchief always.
Yeah.
That could be a new look. We got to change the whole.
look.
We got to change Dwayne the Rock Johnson's head on my body if I'm going to start wearing the handkerchief.
Got the blazer and the handkerchief
That's right.
and the little scarf.
Latina Zaddy saying, looking good, Uncle Brad. Thank you very much. And by the way, this was totally not planned, this look. But you know what? Always the unplanned look, always the best. Vivian Zohabrian, squad up, part of our crew. And Shamar Robinson, squad up. I see Yo-Yo in the comments too.
I'm in here.
And Doreen Dappa, trying to bring back deferred action for parent arrivals, but we are going to be discussing immigration law changes. Lots of immigration news today, Yo-Yo, in our schmooze. So please stay tuned. But let me come over to YouTube. We can't forget YouTube. Jessica Leamy, double fisting AJ, squad up. Vitalis double fisting as well. Nana Botang saying hello. Kunta Kinte, squad up. David Wright, up. Tally, how are you? Anna Watkins. Bolaji Muhammad, Brad and squad, happy new week. Thank you very much, Bolaji. Hard worker, happy Monday. Happy Monday to you as well. Kala Acevedo, do you know what's happening to VAWA? Yo-Yo's going to ask me that question a little bit. Stay tuned. Ahmed Maskood, love you, man. Love you, man. That's some bro love there, right, between us, right?
That's a bro love.
Yeah,
love
right,
you, man.
right. Love you, man. I get that a lot these days. Love you, man. I like that. That's cool.
I like that too.
Yeah. What was that movie when? What was that movie when the two guys became like best friends and they were ignoring their wives?
I was an extra in that movie.
Were you? You were an extra in that movie?
I was an extra in that movie.
Oh, I love you, man. I love you, man. I love you, man. Right. That's what it just reminded me of. Right.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Actually, Ahmed Maskood is actually giving the title of that movie, and I'm like, what was the name of that movie? Love you, man. Love you, man. It was a good movie. It was a good movie.
Yeah,
they were ignoring their wives because they were having this bromance.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It was a good. I was an extra in the wedding scene.
Were you? I don't remember the movie, but I saw it a long time ago. But maybe that's one of those I gotta go back and revisit again. I saw that a decade ago, maybe.
I was like a little bellhop guy.
Yeah.
I was young.
How many minutes into the movie? I'll fast forward it on Netflix.
It's like towards the end.
Towards the end, I'm gonna look.
You'll like see me walking with like my bellhop.
I'm gonna look, and remember, Yo-Yo, love you, man. Love you, man. All right, why don't you tell everybody, Yo-Yo, give a few pointers while I get ready for some schmoozing.
Absolutely. All right, squad, you already know we got to remember to share because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad like he said. He's going to fill us in on President Biden's, I just love saying that, President Biden's immigration executive orders and what it all means. And today, you already know it's Fuzzy Monday, so we're going to talk fun and furry, including the story of a flying kangaroo.
Wow. And I'm interested to learn about that one. And, of course, you can always call Spar and Bernstein. The number should be scrolling. Yes, it is scrolling on the bottom of your screen right there. It says call Spar and Bernstein for a consultation at 1-800-529-5465. International is 1212-227-8933. That number that you see scrolling on the bottom where it says call for a consultation is also the telephone number to get on our show and ask your question live of me right now. That's why we call it Brad Show Live, because after our schmooze, we're going to go right into me answering your immigration questions. We do have open lines. Yo-Yo, you have, yes?
Boy Adebayo has a 2-week streak of sending you 50 stars. I just have to say.
Wow.
It says a 2-week streak on there.
Love you, man. Love you, man. Love you, man. And we will be answering your immigration questions. So you can call that number scrolling on the bottom as well. And then later today, after I answer your immigration questions and after we go social media check-in, we're going to speak with undocumented housekeeper to successful business owner Alicia Villanueva, owner of Alicia's Tamales Los Mayas and the embodiment of the American dream. But right now, Yo-Yo, let's get into something that we like to call schmoozing with me. No, it's not schmoozing with me. Schmoozing with Brad. Schmoozing with Brad and Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that's what we should call it. So for those who have been in a coma, Joe Biden is now our president. He was sworn in on the. I don't think anyone in the world doesn't know this information already. It's right. I mean, can you imagine? I'm saying this and someone goes, "Joe Biden's the president." When did that happen?
Literally, the whole world.
The whole world knows this, right?
America.
This is not brand news, but brand new news. But we still got to say it because it makes me feel good. Because this is the first Monday since we've been doing our show that we can say someone is president other than Pumpkin. Right?
Yes.
Our first Monday ever. We don't have to talk about President Donald Trump anymore. We now talk about President Joe Biden, who was sworn in as the 46th president of the United States last week. He and Vice President Kamala Harris were sworn in without the typical crowds or the presence of the outgoing Pumpkin, although Mike Pence was in attendance. He said, "We must end this uncivil war that pits red versus blue, rural versus urban, conservative versus liberal. We can do this if we open our souls instead of harden our hearts." In addition to that, the Democrats took over the Senate with the inauguration of Kamala Harris. She is the tiebreaker because two senators from Georgia also got seated on and sworn in on Wednesday with Joe Biden. That is Senator Warnock and Senator Ossoff, both the first black and first Jewish senators representing Georgia. And President Biden is now expressing through his press secretary that his expectations for the media are that he will vow transparency and honesty. So hopefully that will continue. Let's talk about immigration. Okay? Yeah. And we had 3.5 years of bad immigration news, but now we have a lot of good immigration news that I am going to break down for everybody right now. Number one, President Biden has signed an executive order. He has revoked the Muslim and African travel bans. The bans affected people from Iran, Libya, Syria, Yemen, Kyrgyzstan, Myanmar, Somalia, Nigeria, Sudan, Eritrea, and Tanzania.
Both my countries.
Those bans are now lifted.
Both of my countries. Can you believe that? Both of my countries were in there. Eritrea and Nigeria.
Can you imagine? Wow. Can you imagine that if you didn't come here or your family didn't come here at an earlier time, you would be stuck where you were?
I would be stuck.
There would be no yo-yo.
Nope.
Okay. I mean, you're a positive addition. You are a positive addition. Many people are positive additions.
I would like to think so.
Okay. You are. So it was obviously nothing more than racism, pure and simple. Jack Sullivan, President Biden's national security advisor, told reporters that the order directs the State Department to return to normal processing of applications for people who have been impacted by this ban. The bans have led to thousands of children, spouses, parents being separated. So, it's going to take some time because it was 3 years of people who didn't get visas and green cards. So they got to start ramping up their staff at these various U.S. embassies. But we should expect that we have a lot of viewers from Nigeria. We have a lot of viewers from all of these places, as a matter of fact. But you should expect that applications will start being processed at these U.S. embassies today, and will start ramping up and going faster as we go. Now, I'm so used to saying Donald Trump is president. Joe Biden. I almost. I heard. You heard that, right? I caught myself. No. Joe Biden has also put a ban on deportations for the next 100 days. Now, what that ban is, it's a ban on deportations with people who don't have criminal records. So if you are in deportation or you have an order of deportation and you do not have a criminal record, you are safe at least for the next 100 days while Joe Biden and his Department of Homeland Security staff decide how to revamp removal orders, removal laws. So we'll see how that goes along. Now, also, good news for people living on the border. There is no more a national emergency on the border anymore. So when Donald Trump came to become president, he declared a national emergency on the border. Remember, it was a fake emergency. Nothing bad was happening on the border, nothing unusual more than what was happening in the past. As a matter of fact, there was less asylum seekers when Trump came than it was 4, 8, 12 years ago earlier. Nevertheless, Trump said national emergency. And not only is there a national emergency on the border so he can bring in the military to patrol the border, but he started diverting funds to build the wall between Mexico and the United States. Remember, the Mexicans were going to pay for it. The Mexicans never paid for it. It was the U.S. taxpayer who paid for it. It was a wall that was supposed to be impenetrable. But if you remember in our schmooze from about 9 months ago, people were buying saws at the Home Depot, were able to cut right through that wall. They only made a couple hundred miles out of over 1,000 miles of border between the United States and Mexico. Joe Biden has stopped the construction, period. And there will no longer be any further construction to the border wall. I don't know what's going to happen with the existing border wall. They haven't said.
That's what I was about to ask.
I don't know what's going to happen with it. They haven't said what they're going to do with it. But the work on the border wall is now over. Also, what is really, really good for people who are on the border, Donald Trump had put something called the Migrant Protection Protocols Program. The Migrant Protection Protocols Program was that people who are on the border, who came from Guatemala, Honduras, Central America, mostly through Mexico to the border, prior to Donald Trump, you would be able to go in to a border, apply for asylum, be admitted and paroled into the United States, and await your hearing in the United States of America. Donald Trump changed that, and he instituted what was called the Migrant Protection Protocols Program. It was also known as the Stay in Mexico and Don't Come to America program. And what that law said was that there was you only were able to go and apply for asylum at certain border posts. They had a queue or a quota on the number, they called it metering, but for all intents and purposes, it was a quota on the number of people who were able to apply for asylum on any given day. And once that number was reached, it doesn't matter how bad of a situation you were coming from, it doesn't matter how bad of a situation you have in Mexico, you're not being interviewed for asylum. And people were waiting on the border months and months and months and months and months to apply for asylum. And then they passed another law as part of this migrant protection program that said that if you crossed into another country on your way to the United States overland, you had to apply for asylum in that country first. So basically eliminating every person's ability who came from the southern border to apply for asylum in the United States. Out of 42,000 cases that were applied for by December 2020 for asylum at the border, there was a lot more than 42,000 people who wanted to apply. Remember, but they had this quota on the number of people that they would interview on any given day. Out of the 42,000 people who applied for asylum, only 638 people were granted relief in immigration court. So this entire program is now coming to an end. They are going to go back to the old system of if you come to the United States and you apply for asylum and you have a credible fear of returning to your home country and you can establish that, you'll be allowed to come in and present your case before an immigration judge.
Nice.
All right. In addition to that, Joe Biden, I was about to say Donald Trump again. We're so used to this. Joe Biden has signed an executive order. It doesn't really have a lot of teeth, but just reaffirming his belief in fortifying the DACA program, which means that DACA, as long as Joe Biden is president, is safe for people to apply for DACA, and it is safe for people to reapply if your DACA is expiring for DACA without any fear of retaliation. Now, he is also extended for Liberians because there wasn't Liberian amnesty, but a lot of people did not get to apply for the Liberian amnesty yet or didn't get those applications approved. He has applied for an extension for all Liberians in the United States for deferred and forced departure for another 18 months. So unless you commit a serious crime, then you're from Liberia, you should not expect to see ICE or immigration come visit you for at least the next 18 months. In addition, remember we talked about the census, Yo-Yo, and how Donald Trump wanted to not count people who were here out of status because the Constitution says that they have to count every person living in America. And that's how they apportion congressmen and the Electoral College, and that's how they apportion how funds get distributed from state to state. Donald Trump wanted to not count people who are out of status. That they have been counting people out of status. They've been counting every human being in the United States since the beginning, since the beginning of the census count, dating back to the 1700s. Well, Joe Biden has gone back to the old laws from 270 or 50 years, whatever it is we have here in the United States. They're going to count every person as part of the census, and he's doing some other things as well. You know, one of the things he's doing is, where's my card on this? He's changing as part of, we're going to talk about the amnesty bill in about 30 seconds, so stay tuned. I got a lot to say on it. But as part of the amnesty bill, one of the things that he is going to be doing, we talk about this all the time, Yo-Yo, is that he's going to change the language in the Immigration and Nationality Act. Right now, the language talks about aliens and illegality. And literally, there is nothing illegal about being an undocumented individual here in the United States. So they are going to now change the law and actually change the words in the law, in the Immigration Nationality Act. You will no longer be called an alien. You will no longer be called illegal. You are going to be just called a non-citizen, period.
Which is what it should have been in the first place.
And we have been talking about this. Julian, do we have a little, I think we have part of the problem with the discourse in immigration in America is the fact that the news and the public are using the wrong words. When they hear the word illegal, it sounds like you're a criminal rather than using the word undocumented. When you use the word alien, it sounds like you come from another world. You're from Mars or Jupiter rather than you're a human being. We have undocumented human beings. We don't have illegal aliens. You know, and if perhaps the political discourse was a little different, we would be having a different conversation right now.
Thank you for breaking it down. I mean, I don't think I could have done that better.
Yeah. So yes, we did have a little. I couldn't get my words out, but we did have a little thing. I've been talking about this for years. Right. It was so important.
What I was saying. You were the first person that actually brought that up that I remember, like, hearing about that. And I was like, you're actually right. Who do we call aliens? People from outer space, like, you know, things that don't really exist, things that, you know, we're afraid of. Like, it's a negative word that, you know, they use to talk about, you know, an individual. So you were the first person that I remember saying that to me.
And as a matter of fact, for those who watched or listened, there was no watching, listening to my radio show before we were on YouTube and Facebook, I was talking about that for over a decade.
Wow.
I've been talking. This is something that's bothered me at least for over a decade.
Right.
Meanwhile, as part of his executive orders, Joe Biden is having a thorough review of the poverty guideline requirements that Donald Trump put in place. Those are the 944 forms, the ones that have been making it very, very difficult for people to file for their children or their elderly parents because part of the 944 is, are you able to work and support yourself? And children and elderly people, by their nature, are not able to work. Or elderly people would have health issues, and if they don't come with health care, then they would be denied. All of this now has not changed yet. So when you have to file an adjustment application, or you are going to the U.S. Embassy for your immigrant visa, you still have to do these additional poverty guideline forms and requirements. But Joe Biden signs an order to look into it, to review it, and to change it if necessary. So look forward, at least some point in the future, to changes in the poverty guideline requirements. Let's talk about the amnesty and what they're going to be doing. Now, Yo-Yo, there is no actual transcript of the law that has been released by the Biden administration. So nobody has gotten an opportunity to actually read what is being proposed. Everything we know is what has been reported in the newspapers and what has been reported by the Biden administration to various professional organizations. But what has not happened yet is nobody has seen the release of the actual legislation that Biden has submitted to Congress. Eventually it will come out and we'll be able to read it. So anybody who says at this moment they've read the law, this is what it says, nobody's read it yet because it hasn't been publicly released. So everything that I am telling you is based on what has been reported to professional organizations and what has been reported in the newspaper. And this is what I know at the moment. They are going to make an amnesty for people who are part of the DACA program. So if you qualify for the DACA program and you have not applied for it yet, you would be quite silly not to do it now. In other words, do it right now. Because if you apply, you will most likely be included in the Dreamer amnesty if you qualify. If you don't apply and you say, well, I would qualify for DACA, but I never did it, well, then you're going to be out. So make sure, A, you apply if you qualify, and B, you should cover your bases or cover your ass, as they say, Yo-Yo. So there's a lot of people who had DACA who let it expire because they said, what do I need it for? I'm working, nobody's bothering me, nobody's asking any questions. Go renew it and make sure that you are in the program now, because we don't know exactly how they are going to make this law. Is it going to be, if you qualified for DACA, you can get amnesty? If you are in DACA, you can get amnesty. But what about people who are in DACA but never renewed their DACA and let it expire? We don't know. Go renew it. Don't take any chances. Because the amnesty that they're proposing for DACA and for everybody who had TPS is automatic green card versus a conditional status for everybody else. So if you are part of the DACA program, you are part of a TPS program, no matter what country you came from, you will, based on what is being reported, you will be eligible to adjust your status and get an amnesty immediately. Amnesty means green card, lawful residence for you and your family.
How do you apply for, is there a certain way, like you need a lawyer to apply for DACA and stuff?
Well, yeah, you would need a lawyer to apply for DACA, and I'll be frank with you, you would need a lawyer to apply for the amnesty, and you better get a good one. And I'll tell you why.
Gotcha.
Okay? Mm-hmm. What is going to ultimately happen, if it happens, this is going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity for people. This opportunity for an amnesty, I can guarantee you if it passes, will never happen again, at least in Uncle Brad's lifetime, which is another 30 years or 40 years. So if you think that it's going to be a simple thing and you're just going to go file it and you screw it up, you will never have this opportunity again.
Wow.
So I can almost guarantee you that. So make
That's
sure,
why I asked.
right?
Yeah.
So make sure. I mean, I'm not saying you hire me. Go hire a good lawyer. Go make sure you know what you're doing.
I say hire him, y'all.
Okay. So
He
so
doesn't say
it's thank you. So it's Amnesty for Dreamers. If you're in the DACA program, who's calling you? They have immigration questions. They're calling you to get on the show.
God, it's wild. I just texted, don't call me.
Don't call you. But I got some questions, Yo-Yo. Ask my question. So it's Amnesty for DACA. It is amnesty for people who had TPS. So what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to prove you were in the DACA program. You're going to have to prove you were in the TPS program. Most likely you will have to prove good moral character, perhaps poverty guidelines, perhaps no criminal records. So if you do have criminal records, maybe you need to vacate some of them. We don't know all the specifics yet. It's also going to be green cards for people who work on farms, farm workers. If you're able to prove that you worked on a farm for a certain period of time. So all of this is going to require you to save all of your documentation. In addition, if you are an unauthorized human being in the United States of America, as of January 1st, 2001, you will be eligible for some sort of conditional status. It will not be a green card. Whether or not you're able to travel, we don't know yet, but you will certainly be eligible for work permission and to be legal in America and avoid deportation. And that conditional status will be over a 5-year period. That's why I'm saying if you're part of DACA, go renew it, because DACA recipients are going to be able to adjust immediately. TPS recipients are going to be able to adjust immediately. Farm workers are going to be able to adjust immediately. Everybody else who's undocumented is going to get some sort of 5-year status. We don't know what that means yet. We know it's going to be work authorization. And that conditional status after 5 years, provided you do certain things, such as probably pay your taxes, stay out of trouble, maybe some other things as well, we don't know yet. Then you could apply for your green card 5 years later. And then after that, 3 years after that, apply for your citizenship. That's not all, Yo-Yo.
Okay.
They are going to make additional visas available for all of the backlogs in the family-based petitions. When brothers and sisters are 10, 15 years, adult married children 10, 15 years or longer to wait for a green card, those backlogs are going to be reduced dramatically. That's why I've always said for years, just get in the system, because when they do change the law, they have to deal with this backlog. I knew it. So get in the system. It will benefit you even if it's a 15-year wait. I would still urge people to file for their brothers and sisters, to file for their adult children, because most likely after this law passes, they will not allow it. That's my guess. My guess is there'll be no more filing for brothers and sisters, no more filing for adult married children. They're going to say, we're going to reduce the backlog of the people who've already filed, and everybody else out of luck. So if you do have a brother and sister you want to file for, you do. This is my guess. I don't know. Nobody knows for sure, but I'm telling you what I really believe. Or if you have an adult son or daughter, file now. It doesn't hurt. It's just a filing fee. File now, because forever hold your peace. I really think, because what's going to happen is they're going to say, okay, we're giving millions of green cards. We got to take green cards away from somebody somewhere.
Right.
So where are they going to take them away? Well, for the future, we're not going to allow, adult U.S. citizens, U.S. citizens to file for married children. We're not going to allow U.S. citizens to file for their brothers and sisters. I can almost assure you, because every time in the past, why do I almost assure you? Because every time in the past, when they almost passed this legislation over the last 30 years, brothers and sisters and married children of U.S. citizens were the first ones to get cut. So that's always was on the table. They're also going to eliminate the 3 and 10-year bars if you leave the United States and overstayed your time to go home to get a green card. So no more provisional waivers. You'll just be able to go home and get your green card, hopefully. Okay. Hopefully. They are also going to make spouses and children under 21 of permanent residents immediate relatives. So we don't have, so people who are married permanent residents will be in the same position as people who marry U.S. citizens. Even if you overstayed your time, you don't have to wait for a green card. You will be immediately eligible to adjust your status. And finally, they're going to increase the per country limits for family-based immigrants and employment immigrants. The backlog for people from India, for example, in employment-based cases could be 40, 50 years. That backlog is going to be eliminated. The backlog for family members from the Philippines, some categories are 30 years long. Those backlogs will be eliminated as well. They're going to eliminate the per country limit for all employment-based cases, meaning that right now they limit that only 6% of any particular country can immigrate from employment-based cases to the United States of America, which is why India and China have such large backlogs, because there's a lot of IT people coming from those countries. Those per country limits will be eliminated, and this whole backlog for Indian IT workers will be eliminated as well. They're also going to make improvements to the STEM program. The STEM is the Science, Technology, Engineering, Math program, meaning that if you came on a student visa and you are studying science, technology, engineering, and math, it is going to be extraordinarily much easier to stay. We don't know what extraordinarily much easier to stay means. This is all that is being reported right now. Will you be able to avoid a perm application and go straight to an I-140 like a registered nurse and a licensed physical therapist can do? That's a possibility. We don't know for sure, but I would guess that would be the possibility, that if you're science, technology, engineering, math, you avoid perm and you go straight to an I-140. That would be my guess. So hopefully that's what it's going to be. They are also going to increase the visa lottery from 50,000 to 80,000 immigrants. They are going to expand for the first time access to free lawyers if you're in deportation. They're going to approve the asylum and U visas and VAWA cases to make those cases go faster. Right now, for example, they only give 10,000 U visas out a year. The backlog for U visas is 10 years. U visas are people who were the victims of very serious crimes in the United States and helped law enforcement investigate and prosecute these crimes. They are now going to increase the U visa cap from 10,000 to 30,000. There's also going to be a provision in the law that will prohibit future presidents from ever making any bans on Muslim and African countries. So the future Donald Trumps of America will never be able to do to the African and Muslim countries what Donald Trump did. They are going to aid Central America. One of the problems with all the migrants coming from Central America is that the U.S. government has cut off aid. If we can make people's lives better where they are, hopefully they don't need to escape and come to America. And finally, they're going to fund immigrant integration initiatives at the state, local, and community level. I'm not sure what that means, but hopefully that will benefit people too. Now, all of this, Yo-Yo, is a possibility, not a fact that this is going to happen. Why? Because this is Joe Biden's proposal to Congress to pass. Congress has to pass something. Now, we know the House of Representatives will most likely, because there's a large majority of Democrats there, the House of Representatives will most likely pass this. Now, in the Senate, it is 51 to 50. You need some Republicans to come on board, simply because I know there's one Democrat who is from West Virginia. He is going to, Joe mentioned, thank you very much, he is not going to vote for this. So we need moderate Republicans to come on board. There are moderate Republicans who would vote for many of these provisions, but they're going to want their own provisions in order to be swayed to vote for this. So there's going to be changes to these laws and proposals. We still have not seen the actual legislation. I hope to see it soon, and we will see what happens. Joe Biden says, Kamala Harris says, the administration says he wants this done in 100 days. So we will see what happens. In addition, by the way, which is also very nice, the U.S. Embassy in Kabul said they are going to resume processing thousands of stalled visa applications for Afghans. The State Department official said the embassy would begin a phased resumption of in-person interviews in February. More than 7,000 special visas allocated by Afghans by Congress in 2020 went unused. We're gonna deal with climate change tomorrow because today is just about immigration, and
cool.
We're gonna deal with coronavirus tomorrow because today is just about immigration. And finally, unfortunately, for those who want to travel or want to have their families or girlfriends or boyfriends come visit them from Europe or Brazil or South Africa, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a little longer. Joe Biden said he's going to reinstate the re-entry ban on nearly all non-United States travelers trying to come into the country from the United Kingdom, from Ireland, from 26 other European countries. Basically, they call it the Schengen zone, Brazil, and now South Africa. And this is going to go into effect or continue on January 26th of this year. So this is what basically is. So you understand. If you are in South Africa, if you are in Brazil, if you're a U.S. citizen, you can come back. No problem.
Okay.
If you are a lawful resident, you can come back. No problem. Everybody else has to be out of that zone for at least 14 full days. Let me tell you what 14 full days means. So, for example, I get these calls all the time. I want my boyfriend, girlfriend to come visit me. But they live in Europe. They live in Brazil. They have visitor's visa, but they're banned. What do? You have to go to a third country that is not banned. So you have to go to Mexico, the Caribbean, I don't know, Bermuda. Anywhere that is not Europe, anywhere that is not Brazil, and now South Africa. And you have to be outside of that zone for 14 full days. What does 14 full days mean? It's reality, it's 17 days. Because the day you fly in is not counted, the day you fly out is not counted, and you need 14 full days. So 14 full days is 17 days, including your day in and day out. So you got to be out of Europe, out of South Africa, out of Brazil for 17 days, and then you can come to the United States on your visa. That is what is the law right now. Joe Biden is going to continue it, and it is a result of, obviously, of coronavirus. And now South Africa has a ban too, because there is a very bad viral strain coming out of South Africa that perhaps, and we'll talk about this another day as well, that perhaps the vaccines that are being given may not be able to prevent, perhaps, and perhaps also they say is much more passable from one person to the other. So unfortunately for people in Europe, Brazil, South Africa, you need to, it's 17 days. If you go 16 days out, they're not going to allow you into the U.S. You always read 14 days, but it's 14 full days, 14 full 24-hour days. So that means it's 15 days, because you got to finish the 14th day. 15, plus a day in and day out. Those don't count because you weren't there for a full 24 hours. 17 days outside of Europe, UK, 17 days out of South Africa, 17 days out of Brazil. And in addition to that, coming into the United States from all over the world, starting on January 26th or shortly thereafter, they are going to require everybody, including U.S. citizens who were flying into the United States, to prove that they are COVID-free with a COVID test taken within 3 to 4 days prior to travel. There is your immigration news of the day, Yo-Yo. I am so... Oh, hello, Vanessa. Pandemic traffic.
I had some technical difficulties, but I'm here now.
I was told it was pandemic traffic, but who knows? But
All of
welcome,
it.
welcome.
All in one.
What
All in one.
What I'd like you to do is after the show, just rewind and you can catch up on all your immigration news. We just finished
I
it
was
off.
listening.
Oh, you were listening.
I'm actually just trying to get used to all this Biden, all this.
Yes, Biden,
no
Biden.
more working these amnesties, no more bans. I was like, what? This is a whole new voice. I'm feeling the vibes already.
This was our first pre-Pumpkin Monday.
I love it.
That's why we call it Fuzzy Monday, because it is pre-Pumpkin. This is the first day that I was able...
Well, post-Pumpkin, Brad.
Post-Pumpkin,
post-Pumpkin?
right. Post-Pumpkin. This is the first day that we were able... This was the first day that we were able to go through an entire schmooze with all good news.
It felt great.
Right. That's why when you skipped out on the Corona part, I'm like, we can skip the count for today. We can skip the count for today.
Skip the count for the day because this is Good News Monday.
Yeah. No, I loved it. Good News Monday.
Yeah. All right. I have somewhere Fuzzy Monday. It's Fuzzy Monday. Let's get fuzzy. Why not? All right, so a wild video captured on an American Airlines flight shows a kangaroo Joey called Harry hopping his way onto a flight. Can you imagine getting on an airplane and there goes a kangaroo flying down the aisle? The video taken by flight attendant.
Oh.
Yeah, the video taken by flight attendant Bobby Weston shows the small Joey making his way through the cabin of the flight, which was heading from Charlotte, North Carolina to Virginia.
What?
How did a kangaroo get on an airplane in the United States? There's no kangaroos in the United States.
Well, was it a pet?
A pet? We don't know. The Joey makes his way toward the pouch, stopping every so often to look about the cabin. Harry was being flown as part of a conservation effort. The kangaroo appeared to have fans as he made his way through the airport with fellow passengers. Footage of the kangaroo on the plane comes after United announced early in the month that it will no longer allow passengers to book free travel for companion animals. But apparently, they allowed this kangaroo on the plane, but it got loose. But people love the kangaroo.
Yeah,
Yes.
I couldn't even
He was
imagine
cute.
seeing it. Yeah, kangaroos are cute.
It's cute, but kangaroos are dangerous. But I think that's a small one, so I think that's okay.
The big ones are dangerous.
The big ones,
that's a baby.
yeah, because the big ones will kick you in the face and knock you out for sure.
Yeah. They're strong.
Right.
Those big ones are strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a goat and a dog were each elected mayor, and they have helped raise money to renovate a Vermont community playground. The idea of pet mayor elections to raise money to rehabilitate the playground and to help get local kids civilly involved came from town manager Joe Gunter. I believe the dog and the goat can't do any worse than the mayor of this town. All right, because I'm very down on politicians these days. In 2018, it's in Fairhaven, Vermont. Lincoln is the goat. He raised $10,000, while the current mayor Murphy, a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, raised $20,000. The town chipped in another $20,000, and the mayors, they were able to build the playground for the kids.
Look at that.
Not
this
bad.
Makes hope.
There's hope.
Joe.
Maybe we should elect animals to all our posts, right? It's
Right. It seems like there's success when that happens.
Yes.
We see changes in the community.
Meanwhile, an orphan goose named Little Bob has no idea it's a bird, says the Ohio man raising it. While driving in Mason last spring, Joe Sponger came across a family of geese trying to cross the road. He told CNN, "We were sitting there for 30 seconds and a guy decides behind us that he wasn't going to wait. He went around us and he killed the mother, the father, and the 3 siblings, and only Bob." That's very sad. Only Bob was the survivor. So Joe Sanger, he's a nice guy. He rescued the little goose and feared it would not survive because he feared it would not survive the night. 10 months later, Little Bob, they call it, is now a beloved member of the family, spending days strolling through Cincinnati's parks with Sanger and his dog. When they're not taking walks, the trio like to hang out on the couch, and Sanger says, "We watch TV together for hours at a time." They potty train the goose, and it also rings a bell to go to use the bathroom when it needs to go outside. How are they able to train a goose?
I don't know, but I don't like birds, so.
I couldn't even train my dogs. My dogs were peeing everywhere. I'm like, "Don't stop it! Stop peeing everywhere, damn dog."
I always forget your thing with birds, yo. Sheesh. That's a trained bird. Can work with that one.
All
I
right.
could smell it from here.
All right. I have 3 fuzzies left. We only can have time for one because I got to get to immigration
That's quick,
questions. Do we want to talk about a talented gorilla, a dog that likes to play soccer, or Holland's becoming the first country for every stray dog? Talented gorillas, dog.
Give me the gorilla.
You want the gorilla?
I like the gorilla.
All right, so Ambum, a silverback gorilla, has received a lot of attention for performing a trick where he walks upright like a human. Ambum lives in Kent, England. Most of the time, he looks like a regular gorilla. He walks on his feet and hands just like the rest of the gorillas. But every so often, he starts to show a tendency to walk upright like a human being, and it's quite a sight to see. He began by standing up and balancing on his feet for short periods of time. Eventually, with some practice, he started to take some footsteps. The 6-foot-tall gorilla is quite an imposing sight, and his unique ability has surprised not only the visitors, but the caretakers as well. And whatever his reason for walking upright, it's impressive to watch a gorilla wander around the enclosure like a human.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Hello, Darwin. That's what happened. Okay, because, millions of years ago, the apes started walking upright.
Yeah.
And the apes turned into me, Yo-Yo, and Vanessa, right? We all turned we all came from apes.
Amen.
At least if you believe in Darwin.
Exactly.
If you
I was
believe
just going to
Darwin.
say, as so many people believe.
Not everybody believes it. Some people believe the Bible, that we were
Right.
just made, there was no ape. We just 7 days, boom, we were there.
It was just a big boom. Yep.
The big boom, and we were there.
People just happened.
Other people believe
How were dinosaurs?
Some people came from UFOs and just dropped us off here. So who knows, right?
Never know,
don't know.
man.
I don't know the answers to that, but I do know the answers to immigration questions. So we're gonna get into immigration.
That you do know.
That is right. We're gonna get
I
into.
do know it.
We're gonna get into immigration, but in today's For Education, I answered the question: what is a misrepresentation? Let's watch. Everybody always asks me, what's a misrepresentation? Well, a misrepresentation is a lie. It's a lie that you made to the U.S. government to get an immigration benefit. And it's only a misrepresentation if it actually affected the outcome of your case. So, for example, if you go into the immigration service and they say, what's the color of your shirt? And you say it's pink, but it's green, that has nothing to do with your case. But if they ask you if you're married when you're single or single when you're married and you lie about it, that's a misrepresentation. All right, you ready to get into some meat and potatoes, guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's get the fork, knife, and spoon out. It's the meat and potatoes time. Getting answers to your immigration questions. Let's go to Adam. We're going to go to Adam in Boston. Adam, how are you?
It's good. How about you?
Good. What can I do to help you today?
Yep, I have one question. In last year, I filed I-130 to my wife and children, and now I have a case in Superior Court.
You filed for your wife and children, and now you have a case with what?
Yeah, in case, like criminal case. I have a green card.
What is your criminal case?
In fraud.
Fraud. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So how long have you had your green card?
About 6 years.
6 years now.
Yep.
Okay. So this is the story.
Okay.
If you are found guilty of a crime of moral turpitude, and it's more than 5 years after your entry to the United States, it will not be deportable, assuming that you don't have any other offenses. Now, you're not going to be able to travel back and forth, but you're not going to be deportable, and you'll be able to continue to file for your spouse and child. If you're found guilty of an aggravated felony, you will get deported. Your family will not come here. So let's talk about what you can plead guilty to and what you can't, at least as far as immigration is concerned. When you're dealing with a fraud case with immigration, if you are found guilty of a fraud, what?
The state's not immigration.
I understand. I'm telling you what is going to happen with immigration if you are found guilty of a fraud case. If you are found guilty of a fraud in excess of $10,000, meaning that the loss to the victim was in excess of $10,000, and you are found guilty of a fraud offense, an offense involving fraud and theft, where the victim's loss is more than $10,000, you're an aggravated felon, you're out. If you are found guilty of a theft offense and you go to jail for more than a year, even if they suspend your sentence, aggravated felony, you're out. If you're found guilty of anything less than loss of $10,000, any other crime of moral turpitude, a theft offense in which the sentence is less than a year in jail, that's a crime of moral turpitude. Now, having been found guilty of a crime of moral turpitude more than 5 years after your entry into the United States is not deportable. Nobody's going to touch you. And you'll be able to continue to file for your wife and children. You'll have to wait another 5-6 years to file for your citizenship. Don't get in trouble anymore. Don't travel, because the laws traveling are different than the laws of you staying here. I have now told you everything you need to know, and now it's up to your criminal defense attorney. Hopefully you get a good result. Hold on. All right, let's go to Emmanuel in York, Pennsylvania. Emmanuel.
Yes, brother, how you doing
Good.
today?
How are you?
I'm doing good, brother. I love you, man.
Thank you very much.
Brother, I came to the U.S. in 2013. And I got arrested in 2017. And you know they forced me in a way to plead guilty to theft.
Okay.
And you know, so I know I'm under the CMIT, crime involving moral turpitude.
All right, so let me ask you a few questions. You said you came here in 2013. How did you came with your green card in 2013?
Yes, I came in with a K1 visa.
Fine. All right. And the offense happened 4 years after you came to America. What were you sentenced to?
Felony theft.
A felony theft. If it's a felony theft, it's most likely a crime of moral turpitude. And if it is a crime of moral turpitude within your first 5 years of entry into the U.S., I'm afraid to tell you that that's deportable. So you have a problem. Hold on, and we're going to need to talk about this.
Brad, I have another question.
What?
Yes, my other question is, so how long do I have to wait just to be able to file for a renewal if my card is, let's say, missing or expired?
Well, if you are deportable and you go to apply as and you have a crime of moral turpitude within your first 5 years of entry, if USCIS is doing their job, Department of Homeland Security is doing their job, they're not going to renew your green card right after your fingerprint. They're going to put you in deportation. So that's why you need a consultation. We got to look at this in much greater detail. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's go to Chichi in Dallas. Chichi.
Hi, Uncle Brad. You're doing well. Thank you so much for all you've been doing.
Thank you.
Okay, just have two quick questions. The first one is, if someone puts up an I-751 application and gets an 18-month receipt,
right,
kind of extension, does it mean that USCIS does not need any other additional documents or something from the person?
No. What it means is that they accepted your application, you paid the right filing fee, and you filled out the form properly. That's all it means. And therefore, it automatically happens just by operations that they mail you an extension. Nobody has looked at your case yet other than somebody in a mailroom who says you have the basic documents here and you filled out the form right and you gave the right filing fee. So we're going to accept this application and we're going to send you an extension. Sometime over the next 18 months, somebody's going to take a close look at your application. And then they're going to do one of three things: approve, deny, or send an RFE for more evidence. Usually 9 out of 10 times you end up with an RFE.
Okay, then one more question. Is Nigeria included in the lottery program now?
Is your who included in the what?
Nigeria in the new lottery program. Is Nigeria included right now?
I don't believe Nigeria is in the lottery program, but I could be wrong. I have not seen the new list yet.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to Kelly in Long Island. Kelly.
Hi, good day, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Brad, I wanted to know if my mom petitioned for me. I'm over 21, so my case is approved, and I'm waiting on my interview date. I haven't gotten a date yet, but I want to know if I marry within the process, like now after my case is approved, will that affect my filing?
Yeah, is your mom a citizen?
Yes.
Okay, so if you get married while your case is processing, you would go from the F1 to the F3 category.
Even though it's approved?
Even though it's approved.
And I'm waiting on a date?
Yep. And then you'll go from a 5 to 7 year wait to a 15+ year wait. Now, if you get married and the person happens to be a U.S. citizen, well, then mazel tov. Your husband will file for you. Your spouse.
No, I don't want to go through that process. I want to go through my mom where I get my 10-year.
Okay, so 1 second, Kelly. Let me ask you a question. You're here in Long Island. What is your status right now?
No, I'm out of status.
Okay, so you realize being out of status, you would have to do a provisional waiver, go home, and come back. It's an entire process, and you're going to wait years and years. Versus if you get married, you can likely, as long as you came on a visa, adjust your status here. So, but you're going to get married to a U.S. citizen, but you don't want him to file for you? That's
no, because I'm just waiting for my dates. I'm not going to go through that process. So I'm going to get a 2-year.
1 second, but 1 second. Have you started the provisional waiver process?
Yeah, I did it already.
Oh, you did it, and and the provisional waiver is approved? Yes. Okay, so you're all right. So you're literally months away then. Okay, then I understand.
Right. So I didn't want to go through a marriage and get 2 years and then have to go back for another interview for a 10-year.
I get what you're saying now, and now you make some sense to me. I thought that you didn't even go through the provisional waiver process yet. I'm like, you're going to be waiting years, but you're right there at the end. You have the
so I wanted to know if it would affect me, like if we get married.
Don't.
Okay.
Do not. You will get married after you. Where are you from? Jamaica?
Yes.
You will get married after you return to Jamaica, you get your immigrant visa, and you re-enter the United States as a lawful resident. Only then will you get married.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, let's go to Mohammed in Atlanta. Mohammed.
Yeah, hi, Brad. How are you?
How are you?
Good. I have a question. I have a conditional green card which is going to expire in March. But my marriage is already terminated, but the divorce is not final yet. So I'm going to apply for the I-751 waiver. But I believe I don't have much evidence for my marriage because she was pretty much abusive and she did not cooperate with getting an insurance or getting a joint bank account. Because always she would say that if I get a joint bank account, you're working, my FAFSA would get affected. Okay, and then recently I came to know that she have emailed to USCIS and DHS that I married her for a green card, but even though I have some affidavits and everything which states that I was a supportive husband and I tried everything to save my marriage. So what is the likelihood of...
What do you mean that you tried everything to save your marriage? What did you do to save your marriage?
Like, I cooperated, I faced her abuse, and I was being pinched all the time. She was being pretty much abusive towards me, like physical, mental, emotional, financial.
Okay. So what we would need to do, the basic way to prove a bona fide marriage is you physically live together.
Yeah, I have pretty much evidence for that.
Okay, so you have living together evidence. You don't have financial relationship evidence.
No, I don't have that.
I would discount what she wrote, immigration, that you married her for love. Usually people who write those letters are actually aggrieved spouses who are doing it because they're angry, and usually angry people were in real relationships. So I would discount that she did that and wrote that. You have some documentation. I would need to review it and tell you, but you have to put your best foot forward with as much documentation as you can. The process is you got to go through it. You have no choice.
Yeah.
So because you have no choice, you got to put your best foot forward and put as much documentation as you can together to prove it was a bona fide marriage. Sometimes when you speak to a good lawyer, they come up with ideas to show that it was a bona fide marriage. You're like, oh, I never thought of that. That's a good document to submit too. So maybe you want to have a consultation. We can review what you have. Hold on. Let's go to Anthony in Jackson Heights. Anthony.
Yes.
Hi, how
Jackson
are you?
Heights.
Anthony in Jackson Heights, it's you.
Yeah. Hi.
Good, how are you?
My question is in behalf of a friend of mine who is a citizen of this country, 78 years old. He married a lady who is 57 years old.
Okay.
They just lived together for 3 months. And then she got an issue with his son, who is 28 years old. She moved out, caused that, not telling her husband where she was going to. Is more than 1 year already, and came to his knowledge that she told somebody that all she wants for him is a green card, and if he applies for divorce, she's not going to sign. So my question is, what he could do to finish the divorce and finish the whole situation?
So he's a
Because
U.S.
it's clear that
he's a U.S.
all she wants is a green
He's
card.
a U.S. citizen, right? Hello, Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the U.S. citizen, the 78-year-old.
He is. He's 78 years old.
So listen, who knows what, and there's truths all over the place. But if you want to get a divorce in New York, you don't need somebody's permission to get a divorce. He can divorce her. It's no fault divorce in New York and 49 out of 50 states, I believe. So all you have to show is that you had irreconcilable differences for 6 months. Serve her with the divorce summons. Show you didn't get along for 6 months. That's what irreconcilable difference is. And you'll get divorced whether she likes it or not. That's the end of the story.
Oh, so he could go on and do it by himself.
Yeah, just get divorced.
Okay.
All right, that's simple as that. And then you're divorced. The only thing she could do at that point would be if she wants to file an abuse case, if she has evidence that there was abuse by the husband. Other than that, she's out of luck. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
very
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
Okay, good luck.
Good.
All right, let's go to James in Alexandria, Virginia. James.
Hi, Brad. Thank you so much for your time. I have two quick questions. One is I have this pending asylum since 2015, and I had a medical emergency at home. So I applied for emergency advance parole, and I got it for 45 days, and I been to my home country and came back within 45 days.
What was your medical emergency?
My father, passed away.
Okay, so let me fill you in on a secret. Okay, if you traveled to your home country, and after you said, I have a fear of returning to my home country because your father was ill, then obviously your fear is not that great. You've just proved your case is a big loser. You're going to lose your asylum because you did this. All right, you can't say, I want to live in America because they're going to kill me if I go home. Oh, my father's sick, I'm going to go home and visit him. Can't do it.
Yeah, I'm saying like I already been and came back.
Do you understand? You can't say I'm scared to go home and then go home, no matter what the reason is. If you were really scared to go home, you wouldn't go home. So you got a big problem. Hold on. Jackie in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Hey, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing? Good. Oh my God, thank God.
Yeah.
No, Brad. I came here on a visa from Jamaica.
Right.
3 years ago.
Right.
And well, I'm off status, but my visa is still good. I'm off status.
Okay.
Yeah. What's my next move?
Wait on what Joe Biden's going to pass over the next 90 days.
Oh.
Hang in there. All right, that's your next move. All right, hang in there.
Yes.
But your next move is to hang in there. Watch this. We'll update you as we know more.
Man.
90 days. Keep your fingers crossed.
I have all my 5 friends over here with me. You're the best, Brad.
Thank you, Jackie. Be well.
And we're all coming to you.
Thank you.
So get ready for us.
I'm waiting. Hold on. All right, let's go to Steven in Dallas. Steven.
Hey, Brad. Hi. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Good. I have a quick question for you. So I have a friend of mine that's got some dates for you. I'll try to keep them as easy as possible. She is never been out of status. She got a green card through her U.S. citizen spouse. After 3.5 years that she got her green card, she applied for N400 under the expedited citizenship 319A. So here's my question. They were living together 5 years prior filing and 6 months after that. So because of COVID, in I think mid-September, the husband filed for divorce and moved out. Now, it was 6 months after they filed, and she has an interview coming up. She hasn't withdrawn for one reason, because me and her was talking. I was looking at the manual for USCIS, and it clearly states that before the regulations were on, they were saying you got to live together until the examination, but the INA says, no, you got to live together 3 years prior to file, and that after that, you just got to be married. Now, they were living together past the filing date, and now they're still married because the divorce is not finalized. So, I mean, in my opinion, she does stand a good chance to go to the officer and disclose their situation, but if she brings the policy update from October 2018 that states, hey, the CFR is wrong. Like they're saying you got to live together until the interview, but the INA wins. That's law. And you got to be until the filing date. And after that, you just got to be married, and doesn't matter what's going on. You know, she's in Texas, and in Texas, there's no separation. You're either married or divorced.
When did you get a green card?
She in 2016.
Okay. When in 2016?
So, I think it was August, the summer. Let's say August, early September.
All right.
So she's within
let me
3
give
years.
you my opinion. My opinion is that she's going to be denied. And what I have seen immigration do throughout my entire career is you have to be living with your spouse all the way through the interview and the swearing-in date in a bona fide marriage to qualify for your naturalization based on 3 years. She should absolutely go in with the policy manual that you discovered. Go in and tell the truth. You don't want to lie, because if you lie, now you're stuck. Now you have a problem with misrepresentation, and she's going to have a problem refiling for her naturalization if she's caught in a lie. Worst case scenario is she can apply for, I think she's going to be denied, my opinion, and she can reapply for her naturalization 90 days before her 5-year anniversary in August, and just withdraw her case, or she'll be denied and refile again in May or June, whatever 90 days is before that August date. But if she gets through and this policy that you discovered works, mazel tov, but I think she's going to be denied.
Even if their own manual specifically, Chapter 3, spouse of a U.S. citizen, states CFR is wrong, you got to be living with them only up to filing. Like you tell that to an officer. It's like, what can they come back with? That's law.
My belief is that they're going to be denied. What I have practiced law for 25 years doing this, they want to see proof of a bona fide marriage all the way through the interview and the swearing-in date.
Okay.
All right, but
all right.
go. I mean, by all means, and then call me back and tell me I'm wrong. I would love to hear I'm wrong.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right. Beely in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Beely.
Hello, yeah, my name is Blair.
Yes.
Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
I came to the country 2014 B visa, and then I requested asylum, and I get married 2016. I get interviewed 2016 also. They referred to me 2017 court, but I didn't get up to now hearing court.
So you got put in removal in 2017, but you never got a court date?
Yes.
That's odd. Okay, are you sure that maybe they notified you and you didn't get it? Is that possible?
They didn't notify even the immigration. They didn't notify the court because
they never filed. So it sounds like they never filed the NTA with the court. They issued you. They handed you an NTA, but it never got filed with the court.
Absolutely, they didn't file.
Right.
2018, I applied I-130, and up to now, my case is they sent the local immigration office 2 years and 8 months.
Okay,
so
you need a mandamus now, because they have to file it with the court, and they got to process your I-130. Other than that, you're in no man's land, which is why you're calling me and you're having this delay. You need a mandamus. Force the government to do their job, which is adjudicate your I-130 and file your NTA with the court, or terminate the NTA, one or the other.
So my last question is, I get 2 babies while I was waiting. The immigration. Two babies.
2 babies.
I get 2 babies.
Oh, congratulations! That's wonderful.
Thank you. Do I need to send their a birth certificate, all that immigration?
Well, let's get the interview first, and then you'll bring the birth certificates to the interview, because that's proof you have a bona fide marriage. Nobody has 2 babies with a wife in a business marriage.
Okay, thank you.
So
thank you.
Hold on,
I appreciate it.
Hold on, we'll help you. All right. Let's go to Abdullah in Washington. Abdullah.
Yeah, good evening. How you doing?
How are you?
Good. I'm a Berman resident. 2013, I got one DUI, 6 months probation, no jail time.
Okay. When did you get your green card?
2003.
And when did you get this DUI?
2013.
Okay. And are you a citizen? Did you file for your citizenship? You want to file for your citizenship?
Not yet. That's
Okay.
why, I was give them time.
Is this your only offense ever?
Yes, that's the only thing I have.
And it was DUI, and tell me what the sentence was again?
Just DUI.
What was your sentence? Did you have to go to jail, pay a fine, probation?
No, 6 months probation.
6 months probation. That's it.
That's it.
All right.
And
So
meeting.
so two things. One, you're not a deportable alien. Number one, because DUIs are not deportable. But even if for whatever reason you misunderstood this and it's something more serious, it's a crime of moral turpitude. It happened more than 5 years after your entry. It's your only offense. You're fine. You have more than 5 years good moral character to file for your citizenship. You're fine. So let's file for your citizenship. You're eligible.
So can I go ahead apply citizenship, or should I wait more time?
File your citizenship.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. Good luck.
Thank you for your help.
Okay. Let's go to Mona in Columbus, Ohio. Mona. Mona. I don't hear Mona. Let's try again. Mona in Columbus, Ohio. Mona. All right, Mona's not there. Let's go to Stephen in McKinney, Texas. Stephen. Stephen's not there either. Let's go to Denicius in Newark, New Jersey. Denicius. Denicius. Is there a problem? Denicius? What happened to all our people?
Hello?
Denicius, you there?
Hello?
Denicius?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm talking with you. How are you?
I'm okay. How you doing?
Good, good. What's going on?
I have a friend who have been on the affirmative pending for 5 years. Initially when Trump took office, he put all the cases, people who have been like on the front line.
I know what Trump did. Tell me what your question is.
So my question is there any plan for Biden for people who have been on the asylum, affirmative asylum for more than 5 years to put them in front?
There is, I don't know about putting them in front, but they, on their legislation, they will be reforming the asylum process. What that's going to be, we don't know yet. So I don't know what, right now it's last in, first out. It's like the accounting method. But I don't know what they're going to do. But Biden's going to do something. I know it. So hang in there and let's see over the next 90 days, okay?
Yeah, because they've been like I said, like 4 to 5 years. 5 to 6 years, and
yeah, I know. It's a long
people
time.
have been put way back.
Now, if you have a really good asylum case, I would file a mandamus and force them to.
Come again?
If you have a really good asylum case, I would file a mandamus.
Oh, okay.
All right, because only if you have one, because that would force them to make a decision on your case. You would jump the line.
Okay.
All right, hold on if you need help. Let's go to Stephen in McKinney, Texas. Stephen.
Hello.
Hi, Stephen.
How you doing, Mr. Byrne?
How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Yeah, my question is for a friend of mine. They just approved their green card last year.
Right.
And the question is it, when does the person need to wait to apply for citizenship?
How did they get their green card?
Through an R1.
Through what? R1?
R1, yes.
4 years, 9 months, 3 days from the time they got their green card.
Okay.
All right. That's
okay. The second question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The second question, sir, please. Is it possible for the guy to apply for the mom?
No, not until he's a citizen or she.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
thank you, Mr. Blair. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to AK in Huntington, New York. AK.
Yeah, Brad, how are you?
Good. How are you?
My small question is, I came in 2000 with visit visa with my minor kids.
Right.
In 2000. Then after 9/11, we moved to Canada, and we applied asylum over there after 1.5 years, but they refused over there because a lot of families over there. So we come back through immigration chaplain borders to come inside. They gave us they took fingerprints, everything. Then they give us a judge hearing date in 2003. I mean, second entry is 2003. So we got a withholding of removal in 2007. So I don't know what I do now. What is my son is today? They were minor that time when we came 2000. Now my son is a physician assistant. He's a PA, and my daughter, she's a mechanical engineer.
The answer is we would need to review your case. I don't have an answer for you how you solve your immigration problem. What I understand is you came to the United States, you applied for asylum in Canada, you got turned down, you came back to the U.S., they put you in removal, you got withholding of removal, which is that you have a fear of returning to your home country, but you aren't able to claim and prove your asylum case. So we would have to look at your file, figure out how you or your family are eligible for green cards, and then reopen your deportation case. So it's how do I get a green card? It starts from there. And then, okay, if you're eligible for a green card and we figure out how you're eligible for your green card, the next step is how do we reopen your deportation case so you can get this green card? That's what we would need. That would be the thinking and the process we would have to go through. My answer to you is, how do you and your children, who are obviously well-accomplished individuals, how do you get your green cards? We would have to figure out and sit down and look through everything. So hold on one second, okay?
Okay, thank you,
You're welcome. All right. By the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions answered, you can always follow me on Instagram at @RealBradBernstein. If you follow me on Instagram at @RealBradBernstein, you can drop me a DM. I'll be happy to answer your immigration questions as best as I can. Sometimes it takes me a day or two to get back to you because I'm very busy, but you could ask everybody in the squad. I do answer everybody's questions on @RealBradBernstein on Instagram. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live. As I always say, you can't handle 2 hours of us, but you can handle 2 minutes. Well, Instagram at Brad Show Live is the place to be. You get all your little nuggets from our show and your best 1-2 minutes from our show. So follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live. And Yo-Yo, what do you got?
Yes, you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
And later, I'm going to speak with Alicia Villanueva, owner of Alicia's Tamales Los Mayas, about how she achieved her American dream, going from undocumented housekeeper to highly successful business owner.
Yep. Oh, and now we're going to take a look at some of the many different personal immigration stories people have shared with us throughout the years.
My mother came from Greece and my father came from Colombia.
I'm Hispanic, I'm Puerto Rican. My grandparents were the first generation to come over here. Yeah. And then, my mother came here with my mother when she was younger.
My parents were born from the South, and I'm pretty sure they migrated over from Africa.
I'm first generation. My parents came here. My mother came when she was 16. She did build herself up. She built a home in her home country, and now I have somewhere to go every summer, and I call it home.
I can still trace back, my family's lineage all the way back to Ireland and that. And, Irish have a lot of spirit in them.
Nigerians are a diverse people. We have so much culture, and everything about us is beautiful.
I'm from Russia, from Moscow. I won the green card lottery. Oh. Yeah, I'm in the United States. And now my life connects with America.
She's Puerto Rican, and I have a African-American father.
I've been here since I was 2. I'm 75, so I've been here a long time. I was born in Puerto Rico, but I came here when I was 2, but we went right to the Bronx, and then from the Bronx, Manhattan.
My mother and father, they migrated from Ecuador back in the early 70s. And then, they had the pleasure of having me here, man. So, then I have my kids here. This is the country of the opportunities, man. You know what I mean? Everybody works hard in any country. But over here, you have that opportunity to make things happen. The American dream for me is, having freedom. My son is in the Coast Guard. he fights for all of our freedoms, man. You know, you come here, you work, follow your dreams, and you can make it happen.
All right, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, I believe some people have some questions on social media. Let's check in on social media, check in and see what their questions are.
Absolutely. All right, first one comes from the Brad Squad member. This is a VIP page, like I said, well, I used to say, but now if you guys want to throw in your questions anytime throughout the day, all you have to do is go to Facebook and make sure you put in Brad Squad. So it'll be a Brad Squad member. You will become a VIP member. Just press request and we will accept it. All right, so DC, which is a VIP Brad Squad member, says, now that Biden is president, will the I-944 be rescinded or canceled? Will the new proposed changes to AOS be canceled as well?
Well, everything is going to be reviewed, as I said in the schmooze, that they're going to be reviewing all of the poverty guidelines. They made a commission as part of one of his executive orders, and that commission will come back and report to Joe Biden how to change the 944 form, how to change the poverty guidelines. We'll see what the commission comes up with.
Patrick Lewis, who is also a Brad Squad member, asks, is Form DS-5540 public charge still required for consul processing under the Biden-Harris administration?
That is the same thing as the 944, but that is what you file at the U.S. Embassy. As of the moment, yes, it is required.
Okay, Nino, which is another VIP Brad Squad member. My friend has a pending asylum case. Can his daughter overseas apply for a student visa in the U.S.? Is there any law that makes her ineligible?
There's no law that makes her ineligible to apply for the student visa, but my guess would be that they would believe that when she gets a student visa, she's going to come and apply for asylum and would have a hard time getting that and proving that she's going to return to her home country. When you apply for a student visa, you have to show non-immigrant intent, that you intend to return home. The fact that dad already came to the U.S. and applied for asylum would lead an immigration officer or consular officer at the U.S. Embassy to think that the daughter is going to do the same thing. But you can try, but most likely will be denied.
Lisa Ramsey on Facebook, can a green card holder marry within the U.S., then file for that spouse? Would the spouse get a green card and be able to work, or the green card holder would have to be a citizen first?
If the spouse is in legal status, you can file an adjustment. If the spouse is 245I, you can file an adjustment. If the spouse is an arriving alien, you can file an adjustment. Otherwise, you would have to wait on your citizenship or file an I-130, do a provisional waiver, and come back.
Okay, Nova Samaj on YouTube. I received my 2-year green card through marriage, which will expire next month. I recently submitted my I-751 application. Can I apply for citizenship also?
You can apply 2 years, 9 months, 3 days after you got your conditional green card, but they will process your citizenship and I-751 simultaneously.
Letitia Johnson on Facebook. My kids' applications were approved in 2019. Their priority date was August 2018. How long will it take for the embassy in Jamaica to give them an interview?
I don't know if you're a resident or a citizen. I don't know if your kids are over 21 or under 21, or if they're over 21 married. So it all depends. Let's assume that you are a resident and they're under 21, they're eligible now. If you're a resident and they're over 21 and single, about 3 more years. If you're a U.S. citizen, they're over 21 and single, about another 3 years. If you are a U.S. citizen and they are married, about another 8 years, but it'll all change after Joe Biden changes the immigration laws. Let's keep your fingers crossed.
Awesome. Showman on YouTube. My work permit expires on 9/29/2021, and I still haven't received the renewal receipt. Can I use my approved I-30 to send to my employer?
No, but your work permit expires in 9/20/21. That's in another 9 months. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I
Yes.
misunderstanding something?
No, you're correct. The work
So you have a work
expires
permit.
then.
You have a work permit. Just show your current work
When
permit.
are you supposed? When are you supposed to use, or when are you supposed to receive the renewal receipt?
You file for renewal about 4 to 5 months before your work permit expires, and that renewal receipt, you wouldn't be doing it now anyway. It's 9 months from now. So unless his work permit's not 2020, maybe it's 2020.
No, it's 2021 because it says it expires.
Then Okay, so there's nothing to do right now. You have a current work permit. Go work. And this summer, you file for an extension. You'll get an extension notice, and you show your extension notice for the I-765 to your employer to work for the extra 180 days till they renew your work permit.
Waeed Javid on YouTube. Those whose asylum cases are scheduled will be benefited from this amnesty plan?
Yes. Yes, we hope so. Nobody knows for sure, but we hope so, yeah.
Hamasul on Facebook. My nephew came in through Mexico and declared asylum and was denied. Appeal was denied. Motion to remain is pending. So he was released in November.
Motion to remand.
Remand. Sorry, for remand is pending. He was released in November and was asked not to go to work or to go to school. Can he apply for a work permit or get married to change his status?
He can get married, certainly.
Gordon Gima on Facebook. I have to upload my U.S. passport on CEAC to prove my domicile in the United States.
You have to prove your U.S. citizenship. Your passport will prove your citizenship. It doesn't prove your domicile. You could have a U.S. passport and be living in Brazil for 40 years, like my friend.
Carlos Estrella on YouTube. I was a victim of a crime 30 years ago. Can I still apply for a U visa?
If you helped law enforcement prosecute that crime and you can get a letter from law enforcement, it'll be very difficult because it was 30 years ago, but possible.
Marwa Yusuf on YouTube. Any news about the January 2018 decision regarding the asylum cases?
I don't know what January 18th, 2020 decision you're talking about. Be a little more specific.
Christine Pay on Facebook. I filed for my biological daughter in 2016 and everything went well. She went to her interview in 2017 and was told that they were doing some administrative investigation and haven't heard back from them since December 2017. What should I do?
File a mandamus.
Eunice Conid on YouTube. Will the 365 days waiting period to get a social security number be removed now?
This is for the asylum cases, I assume. Hopefully, let's keep your fingers crossed. It hasn't been removed yet.
Elaine Batson on YouTube. My mom has filed for me since 2016. I'm an adult and I was married when she filed for me, so I put down my wife's name. Now we're divorced and I never saw an update since I applied. What should I do?
Submit the divorce papers to either USCIS or the National Visa Center, depending on where your case is, and they'll upgrade your case from an F3 to an F1. But you got to submit it with a copy of your receipt notices and case number and everything else. Just don't say, here's my divorce decree and write a letter. You got to attach your receipts and application approvals. Copies, not originals.
Noreen Shazad on YouTube. I am making $24K yearly plus taxes. Can I apply for my mother's PR?
Yeah, you could apply. You worry about the poverty guidelines in a year from now when she's eligible to go for her interview at the U.S. Embassy.
Patricia on Facebook. I filed for my mom. She lives here, but she doesn't work. Can she file for her adult children?
Yes, you could always get a second affidavit of support from someone else. When you file for your adult children, it's going to be years anyway, so don't worry about affidavits of support now because all the laws will be different anyway.
Garnett Collins on Facebook. Please shed some light on the amnesty with President Biden. What paperwork can be filed now?
There's no paperwork to be filed now. The only thing you can do is get your paperwork together. So what paperwork would I get together? If you're going to base it on assuming that they're going to pass a law that says if you are undocumented or out of status on January 1st, 2021, you need evidence that you were here January 1st, 2021. So every piece of paper that you have with a name and date on it, you save, whether it's a medical record, a pay stub, mail addressed to you with a postmark on it, bank statements, credit card statements to show that you used your credit card or banked it around that time. Everything with a name and a date, you save. And then wait.
Alicia Pendergrast on Facebook. What about persons with medical deferred action? Will they qualify for green cards?
Perhaps. We don't know what the specifics of the law will be. Let's see.
Lisa Kamasta on YouTube. Is it wise to upload a corrected I-864 to NVC if DS-260 isn't submitted yet? And NVC rep recommended it when I tried to see if it could be deleted instead.
You could always upload a corrected one if you want, but I would suggest waiting for them to request it first.
Mona Paul Singh on Facebook. Can a person who has a pending waiver for overstay adjust status, and can that person travel?
You only can adjust status if you're eligible to adjust. The waiver doesn't make you eligible to adjust. So adjustment laws and waiver laws are completely different.
Motunrayo Duro Dali. What are the documents needed to bring my stepchild from Nigeria to the U.S.?
Proof that you married the natural parent before the child was 18, that child's birth certificate, and your marriage certificate, and any divorce decrees from prior marriages between you and your spouse.
Cassie Ben on Facebook. What if you already have paid taxes for several years? How do they account for that?
I don't even understand what the question is. Account for what? All right, Vanessa.
Vivian Williams on Facebook. I came here on H-2B but didn't go home. What can I do now?
Wait 90 days to see what happens with the amnesty.
Okay, Mark Tanan on Facebook. What about those whose asylum application is pending but has a SSN and work authorization and is paying taxes with no criminal record? Sorry.
I assume it's for the amnesty. We'll find out.
Can they automatically get a green card?
We'll find out. We don't know the answers yet. We'll find out. Stay tuned. Vanessa.
Okay.
Shelly Ann Clark on Facebook. If I am an undocumented person, is a guardian or American citizen, if an undocumented person is a guardian of an American citizen, will they have a good chance at the amnesty?
Most likely if you were here before January 1st, 2021. That's what they're requiring right now in what Biden submitted. What the ultimate law will be, we don't know yet. Let's find out.
Owakwe Kingsley Uche on Facebook. Can people who have been in the U.S. for 4 years and are on student status apply for status adjustment?
Under the Biden amnesty, it is undocumented aliens. So if you're here on a student visa, what you would have to demonstrate is that you violated your student visa status before January 1st, 2021. What that would be, either you didn't go to school or you worked illegally. But let's see what the law is before you start admitting to law violations.
Dion Watson on Facebook. If you got deported and came back, are you able to get a green card?
Again, we don't know what the final rule is going to be yet. If you watched the beginning of the show, I told you everything that has been reported so far. And we'll know more tomorrow. But nobody has even read what Joe Biden submitted to Congress, let alone, even if we did read it, that's not ultimately going to be the law. The law is going to be something else. So let's see.
Haben Solomon on YouTube. How long is it taking for the I-130 to get approved? I'm a green card holder. I filed for my spouse on January 27th, 2020.
At least a year.
Ermi Zainu on YouTube. I am confused because I am a political asylee, waiting for the interview for many years. Is there a new update?
Not yet, but wait 90 days. 2 more questions, Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Adrian Williams on YouTube. Are they going to change laws for aggravated felonies?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to give amnesty and then say people with aggravated felonies can also get it. I doubt it. I would strongly doubt that. Yes. Lastly.
Space MC on YouTube. What is, Himley Clark on YouTube. Do you have to file your taxes with your spouse to be approved for citizenship via a 3rd-year rule?
Yes, because you have to show you're in a bona fide marriage. Bona fide marriage means you live together in financial relationship. Joint tax returns are one of the best ways to prove a financial relationship. So if you show up without joint tax returns, 99% you're going to get denied. I can tell you that point blank. And to answer that other person's questions about will aggravated felons be eligible for the amnesty, the answer is most likely not, but they may change the rules of what an aggravated felon is. Who knows? That could happen.
Brad, can I ask one more question before we leave?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Kimberlyn Burris on YouTube. Should I submit the I-130, I-130A, I-485, I-944, and I-765 at once when I'm filing for my adjustment of status? I'm currently a B2 visa. My spouse is a green card holder.
Yes, but remember, yes, you have to do all of that. But remember, don't file within your first 90 days, and you have to file while you're in legal status. So it's like you only have that small window to do it. So make sure you do it right. Meanwhile, what do we got here? Block H. It's on my paper. Alicia Villanueva is the owner of, I sometimes, because I'm talking, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. And sometimes, it's, I'm focused, and then I'm like, all right, now I gotta go down to my paper. Where are we at,
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Nobody else knows what I'm talking about, but you know. All right, so Alicia Villanueva is the owner of Alicia's Tamales, Los Mayas. When Alicia Villanueva arrived in the United States from Mexico 20 years ago, she was poor and undocumented. But in between working as a housekeeper, Alicia never gave up on her passion for cooking and building her own business. Today, Alicia's company makes over 4,500 tamales a week. They can be found in many places, including grocery stores and the Chase Center in San Francisco. She shared her American dream success story and her delicious tamales with us. Let's watch. When Alicia Villanueva arrived in the United States more than 20 years ago from Mexico, she decided to introduce the taste of her home country to her neighbors in the form of tamales she had made since she was a young girl. Now, almost 2 decades of selling her tamales door to door, her hard work has now landed her a major contract delivering her tamales to the Chase Center, the new home for the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco. And this is just the beginning of her company, Alicia's Tamales Los Mayas. Here to discuss her journey in obtaining her incredible American dream success is Alicia Villanueva. Alicia, how are you? And thank you for coming on Brad Show Live. I want you to know I'm going to have a very hard time doing this interview because I am sitting here in front of at least 24 tamales right now. I have chicken. I have, what else do I have here? Chicken, pork. Tell us what a tamale is.
Okay, the tamale is like a really delicious, I can say a small kind of cake. I can say like cake, but it's made with corn milk, and it's with the corn husk, and it's filled with a delicious, like anything, like can be by chicken, carnitas, or any filling you want to put in there. There is some that is mild, and then some of them are spicy. But it's I think for me, the tamale is a really gourmet and beautiful plate because you can have this for breakfast, for lunch, or in a really nice and gourmet dinner too. It's really versatile and really magical for me. I love the tamales. You have to unwrap the corn husk, and then pour some salsa. I send some salsa like chipotle and tomatillo. Tastes really good. And then you can go bite by bite.
Now I'm eating the chicken right now.
That one is my grandmom recipe, and it's with chicken and then carrots, potato, zucchini, and some peas, and the tomatillo salsa. Every flavor of the tamale is different, honestly, different recipes, but tastes really good. So you can try.
So when did you first start cooking tamales? As a child?
I really feel my passion for the cuisine since I was like a child. And then I remember that my grandmom and my mom invited me to be in the kitchen, helping them.
You're really an American success story. A real, true life American dream come true. You came to America how long ago?
Mi amor, I arrived to United States on the 2000, and it was my kid, 8 years old, Pedro Jr.
But how old were you when you came here in 2000?
Like 39.
What made you leave Mexico?
Our countries are really lovely, but it's really hard to to have a really good life. And after that, little by little, I was just building my American dream like everybody.
What gave you the idea to start cooking tamales? You're working so hard. You're a housekeeper. A, where'd you get the energy from? And B, why did you start to do it?
I just think on this, and then when you have the passion to do something and love, I think that doesn't matter that you feel really tired or whatever, because I was, but I just keep going.
You had to pay your rent, you had a child, and then you took whatever money you had left over to buy ingredients to cook tamales, because it costs money to buy all these ingredients, and then start knocking on the doors and say, hey, buy my tamales. It's quite an amazing story.
Yeah, honey, but I realized like maybe it was like after 3 years or something like that, I say, Alicia, although I just get a penny, I just keep going on my dream. But I realized that I have to be educated. And then I start to find some resources. And finally, I find one organization, no-profit organization that say Woman Initiative.
How did you discover this organization?
It was really I think like a miracle, because I was just walking on my route that I was selling my tamales in Oakland, and I just find a small flyer in the floor, and I just pick it up, and it was entrepreneurs, women, and so I say, okay, I have to call them. Yeah, and then from that I am graduated from them. I make a program of 6 months, and my teacher, I remember my teacher Gonzalo say, Alicia, there is a really nice place that maybe is going to be really good for you, and we call La Cocina. La Cocina is a no-profit organization, so I went with them, gave me the opportunity to start this program with them, and there is 5 years that I did is pre-incubation and incubation.
You were doing this for 6-7 years before you turned a profit.
I start to make profits, honestly, on the 2010.
Were your goals to say, I want to be an independent businesswoman?
There is 4 organizations that support me to grow up my business. It was MAF, is Mission Asset Funds, that they helped me to get my first $1,000 that I invest in my old van. And then I start to do some deliveries. And then Opportunity Funds, they helped me to buy a brand new van. And after that, another that is a MEDA, is a Mission Economic Development Agency, and with La Cocina. La Cocina helped me too much, and all of them changed my life. It's a family business, and we have a location of 6,000 square feet, and we are doing like maybe 40,000 tamales per month.
What? How many employees do you have working in your? I guess it's a factory now. Is that what you?
Yeah, we are 25 with me.
Did you ever think to yourself when you were working as a housekeeper, 20 years from now, I'm going to have this big company. I'm going to have 25 people working in a factory. I'm going to have drivers. I'm going to have a contract with the Golden State Warriors. Did that ever? How big were your dreams?
I have a really big American dream on that time, but not that in these dimensions, oh my God, like right now, I say, I pinch myself.
How many tamales do you make for the stadium every week?
Sometimes they just call me, Alicia, I want 1,500 tamales. I want 2,100 tamales. It depends, whatever they want, I'm ready for them.
You cater some big events, I understand too. What are the big companies that you cater to?
There is like a Google, Facebook, Twitter. Plus, we have the school district is in a small town that we say Vacaville. I think that they serve like 10,000 plates per day or something like that.
Wow. And I understand also you're in Whole Foods, right? So we can go to Whole Foods and is this what I would find in Whole Foods? Something that looks like this? Or or you can go on Amazon and order it? Something that looks like this, Alicia's Tamales?
It's going to happen pretty soon. They say that we're going to have like 44 stores.
Every year you make more money than the year before, I assume, right? I mean, you're growing company.
See, but like a small company too, it's like I get my profits and I have to invest because it's the way that I have to do it.
So you have all these employees, how many employees are American citizens that work for you?
You know, it's like, I think everybody.
Everybody
It's
who
like
works for you. You're like, yeah, everybody. Here's a Mexican who came with nothing and is making an economic success not only for herself, but employing tons of Americans. I think somebody's at the door there. They really want the tamales. Somebody wants the tamales badly. They're banging down the door for you there. When did you become a citizen?
I'm gonna be. I have my residence in few days.
You have a green card. You're gonna be a citizen very soon. Well, congratulations on the upcoming swearing in. That's amazing. Who is that?
No, it's another of my beautiful advisors.
One of your advisors.
He's the director of quality control. It's James Farrell.
Oh, hello, James. How are you?
Hello.
I ate your chicken tamale, and I ate your pork tamale. Is there one that's very, very special? Which one should I try?
We have the four traditional ones that I say: the chicken, the carnitas, the Oaxaca cheese. Did you try the Oaxaca cheese and the veggie?
Which one should I try? The Oaxaca?
The Oaxaca cheese.
Which one is the Oaxaca cheese? All right, so I'm going to try my last one because I'm getting full. What are your goals for this company moving forward?
I have another dream. You know, when I was doing my first business plan, I remember that I say, I'm going to sell like 4,000 tamales per month. And everybody was laughing, you know, Alicia, you are crazy. But now I really want that the company be worldwide. And I would like to sell my product. My first one is going to be Canada.
Oh, you want to go international?
Yes, I really.
You want to be an international conglomerate, all the way from being a housekeeper and out of status to international businesswoman and conglomerate. That's amazing. You had that dream, I'm going to do 4,000 tamales, everyone laughed at you, and boom, you did it. Now you have this dream, I'm going to go international. You can't go international unless you have that dream to do it. You have that in your head, I'm going to do it. So you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You have the know-how, you got the product, you're going to do it. Where are your kids? Are they with you in this business?
Oh yes, I have my Pedro Jr. is like I say, he's 26 years old. He's graduated from San Francisco Cal State, and he's working with me shoulder by shoulder, you know. And I really want that he become to be the CEO of the company. Yeah, and Grecia is 15 years old. She's in high school in Berkeley, and Berkeley High, and Pablo is 17 years old. But when it's the summer or the spring vacation, they spend the day working with us, doing deliveries.
And you did this all, which is now even more amazing as an out-of-status person. You built this whole company, but now you actually have your green card. So that's even more amazing when you think about it. What is your American dream? You told me you had a dream of, you know, going international with your products. You know, this is a show about reaching your American dream. You are the perfect example of somebody who has reached or is in the process of reaching their American dream. Tell me what the American dream means to you. Tell me if you've reached it, or where you need to go from here.
Okay, it's like my American dream is like I really want to make a very positive impact in my community, open opportunities for the families, and I just want to have a really good impact in United States. And take care of my people, you know, my staff is my second family, and make sure that their kids are gonna be in college and as mine, and you know, help all my people who is helping me to grow this business too. I really appreciate so much to my community, my family, Pedro, my husband Pedro. Oh my God, he's really big support, my kids, and without them. I think that Tamales Los Mayas can be in the place that I am right now. And, you know, of course, with my dream and my hard work too. But I have a really good expectations in the future for this business.
Well, Alicia, you are the perfect example of dreams come true. And if you can dream it, it'll happen. and you came here with nothing, and you made an amazing success of yourself, and it's quite an amazing story, and quite frankly, quite amazing tamales that go along with that amazing story. If somebody wants to go and buy your tamales online, can they do that somewhere?
Just go to our website and just place the order, and we can mail the tamales to everywhere.
What's the website?
Oh, it's pretty easy. It's www and then aliciatamalesLosMayas.com.
All
This
right.
is our website.
Great. Alicia, thank you very much, and thank you for lunch. I really appreciate it. Your tamales are amazing. You have an amazing American dream story. You are the quintessential American dream. It's amazing what you're doing. I only wish you the best of luck, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming.
And I just want to say thank you so much, and it's an honor to be with all of you. And I would like to say to everybody who has a dream, just go for it. There is nothing that can stop when you have the passion and you love what you are doing. You can do it.
Thanks for your time, Alicia. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right,
Oh,
so this.
I love her. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
I love that. I love that.
Awesome.
That was
I
good.
loved her
How are the
too.
tamales?
They were very good.
And I'm a little jealous about all those tamales that you ate.
I want you to know, when I ate all those tamales, I was very full. I skipped dinner.
Did you think about us?
No. I only thought about the
Fair
tamales.
game.
I only thought about the tamales in very good.
That's it.
And now I'm hungry though. That's why
Yeah.
I was watching it and I was getting hungry because I eat dinner after the show. I guess you guys do too. So so I was getting hungry. I'm like, all right, let's get to the speed round. I love her, but let's get to speed round. I'm getting hungry. All right,
Let's do it.
so this is the time when I really show off and answer 9 questions in 50 seconds. But I can't do it alone. I need Vanessa and Jonathan to show off with me. Let's see if we can do it.
I feel good. I feel good about this. Okay, ready?
Ready, go.
Do I need a passport to apply for a visa?
Yes.
Will F1s fall under the 8-year citizenship law?
We don't know yet.
Do I change EAD information if I travel on AP?
No.
Do I need a lawyer to apply for VAWA?
Yes.
Should I create a PDF with proof of relationship?
For what purpose? Next.
Do you show bank statements for citizenship?
No.
Can I file VAWA without my husband knowing?
Yes.
Will RFE for I-944 slow down EAD?
Yes.
Can I leave the U.S. with a K-1 or I-130 visa pending?
No, you need advance parole.
Okay, let's do it. That's good. That was it.
I was ready to do a bonus question because we had time to spare. We had time to spare.
It's always
I wanna see
delayed.
those
The
moves when we don't
balloons are
win.
always delayed. It's like they don't want us to win, but when they blow us up right away. Right away. All right, comments of the day. Comments of the day.
All right, y'all. First comment of the day comes from McLeod Jacques saying, I was a bit bored to tell the truth. No Bradshaw for a couple of days there.
Oh, man.
It was kind of
It was very boring, but I moved. I was moving, and I'm all organized now, so hopefully everybody's happy for me.
There we go.
What was that?
We approve. We approve.
Oh,
That's
I
what we're saying.
approve. I see.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. And next comment. Sorry.
Abiodun Jimmo says, Brad, the only immigration lawyer that cares for the people by sharing his wealth of experience to solve immigration problems.
Oh, thank you very much. Very nice.
Yes, yes. All right, third comment of the day comes from Sani saying, President Biden did not forget about us on his first day. Great days ahead in immigration squad family.
That is right.
Yes, he didn't.
He did not. He kept his promise.
He did.
Let's see if we can get some legislation done.
Yeah.
Right. That'll be key. Our next comment of the day from one of our loyal folks, Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying, listen to Brad, he knows it all. Start to do your paperwork like now.
No, don't do your paperwork, just put it together. Put it together. You can't do anything yet. Put it together. But yes, Carol.
Cool. Yes, and our last one for today comes from Queen of My Castle, Lee, saying, everyone who's watching, the best law firm to use is Spar and Bernstein. I guarantee you'll be happy you did. I'm glad I used this law firm because Brad always answered my questions.
Oh, very nice. Thank you very much. And now she is the queen of her castle because her immigration was resolved. Yes. All right, guys, we will hopefully know more about immigration tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And I'll be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Yo-Yo and Vanessa will be here tomorrow, the next day. So join us, squad. The crew will be here. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465.
What are you doing?